Um, this is the, oh, we have someone joining. Let's give it a second then. Hey, Jignesh, just started. Hey, guys. Hey, Brian. Just was about to start. Not many people from our team joining today because we have an internal deadline, so I'll be the only one joining here today. Just a quick update from what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks. There was a little bit of work on handling sequence number gaps during audio mutes that George worked on. I think that that also included some work from Miriam and you, Brian. There was also, let me think about that. What else was there? There's quite some good progress on the React application, which now already also handles deep link integration, and a number of fixes. Currently, we're working on addressing this problem in the Chrome jitter buffer that would not render audio unless it also has video for audio video media streams. We're making the bridge able. We're basically changing it to send a black frame, a black key frame to every participant who joins in order to unlock the jitter buffer and make sure that this doesn't happen. This way we can do lip syncing without complicated gymnastics in the signaling. And we have a bunch of fixes planned on Meet for this week, a bunch of visual fixes, like having room lock notifications sent to everyone so that the lock button will display properly in a proper state everywhere. There's a bug with the toolbar that disappears even though the mouse is on top of it. There's a few other issues there as well. So this is partially that we'll be reworking the settings dialog, and that's pretty much it on our side. I don't have anything else. So if you guys want to talk about something, let me know.
Are you guys going to spend any time on the simulcast ramp up?
Yeah, actually, that's what we're. Okay. George and Boris will be working on that this week.
Cool. We've got simulcast wired up just at the end of last week. Miriam had a couple fixes for H.264 related stuff. But
are they in now? Have they been taken by the Chrome team?
No. We need a little bit more cleanup, and we need to get things organized because we had to make. We have a bunch of stuff in there wire into, so we need to clean things up a little bit and test. We've seen some issues. Cast layer, and so we have some logic that needs to apply and remove those. Fine. Ramp up when it first joins, so I don't know. We might. We'll
that doesn't happen with Hangouts. Immediately basically doing the same thing, but in the SDP, and especially with parameter. It is, we make probably easier as a starting point. And B's off the bat.
That will just suspend a video. You don't have the bitrate. any notification.
Have like a
Yeah, I have the bug stop sending one of the simulcast layers. They just stop, and you guys put some logic in to detect when that happens.
Yeah, that logic. It's different because that we have access to the full RTP stream there, and we can actually count frames, and we know that if we got that many frames on one layer and no frames on the other layer, so A, we have more information, and B, the situation allows for easier detection. Now, it would be totally different if you're the web page and you're trying to figure out that your browser did that. I would say, I'm sorry.
I just don't know why. I mean, why they can't. I guess why not fire an event on the stream or something locally? It just seems like would be nice, but
like locally, the same thing would be true for simulcast, and we don't do that detection locally in simulcast. It would have been great because we will actually. Well, that's different. I was going to say it would be great to have control on being able to drop layers.
Even better would be something like TMMBR, right? Because that's really what you want. We don't want to renegotiate. This is going to probably happen at some potentially high frequency. You don't want to do offer answer. So you'd really rather, it'd really be nice if they did it on the level of a flow control. So when it comes on and off, you don't have to do some big renegotiation with the bridge.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you want to do it with TMMBR, REMB is supposed to be their equivalent of TMMBR. I know that conceptually they're not exactly. If you think of it, if you just start sending REMBs with 0, you should be able to.
So that has a concept of, look, this stream is alive, but I'm currently not going to send any bit.
Oh, you're thinking about TMMBN then.
Oh.
So TMMBR is for the receiver to tell you to stop. TMMBN is for the sender to tell
allow for a 0 flow, like a flow control off without having to do an SDP,
So are you looking for the control option or for the notification option? Indeed, they don't have, and they don't have it in the API. They don't have it in RTCP either. So, so they're getting rid of REMBs in general, right?
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because they're moving inside congestion control.
Oh, right.
They have this thing where which would allow the sender to make all of the bandwidth estimations, and so even REMBs will be dropped. So I'm not sure. I don't think they're planning for a lot of SFU side control and interaction.
Yeah, well, that sucks. I mean, the control here, I don't care about. I just think something, the notification side, such that this, right, and we can avoid a frozen image basically getting stuck on a receiver because timing out because his network sucks, and he just intentionally suspended the video stream.
It would basically be a matter of a second because you'll probably get in stats a report that says, I don't think there's a lot of ambiguity there. If that ever happened 3 times. So
I'll find that bug. Maybe we can add some stuff, although I think it might be closed now, but I'll send it to you. Is it all the same to you whether they do that in the API or whether they do it in RTCP? I guess it would be nice to have the sender. Probably what we would want is we would want on that client's UI to show something like, hey, we've temporarily, suspended your camera video due to network issues or something. I mean, we could circuitously do that by having the bridge receive something at, the media layer and then firing some notification down, because we'll probably send that down to everyone. But so I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, we could probably make either one work.
Okay. Well, I'd say that if you want to show it in the client, then it would probably be better to have an API thing, because otherwise you have to send it to the server, and besides it's going to be RTCP, so you're not even certain that you're going to get it. Then send it back from the server to the client on the signaling layer, and then show it in the client. So if you think of it that way, then maybe just the API notification would have been.
Yeah, that's true. If it's doing this because the bandwidth is having a lot of issues, then the odds of
And the RTCP,
doing one fire and forget notification, that might be slim.
Although you've stopped your video, so you might hope that a single RTCP message sent a few times would make it. But that also sounds more like a hack. Yeah, let's just send it 3 times. And what happens if you decide to restart in the meantime or something? And yeah, but otherwise, the whole probing thing and ramping up in simulcast is probably going to take quite a lot of time, because there's a lot of piping, a lot of plumbing, sorry, to get right there. First of all, we have to decide whether we want to do that through FEC or RTX. And we probably want to try both and try to compare them and see which one gives better results. It's something you don't want to get wrong, right? Because you don't want probing to penalize your existing code. So I
was wondering, is there, I mean, it's tricky to get right. I was wondering if there might be some poor man's method, even just based on the audio stream or streams or something. If it was like, hey, we haven't seen any loss on audio for a while. What if we just tried re-enabling, the next or the current video stream we're still doing? Maybe we just try re-enabling the next stream and see if that worked. Even just as a poor man's thing, if the complexity of the other one is going to take a while to get right. I mean, it's something we might tinker around with that and see if maybe for a lot of scenarios it works okay.
Yeah. But then imagine that you're just limited to 1 megabit. Like you have a hard block somewhere. That basically means that every 5 seconds, your connection will be going to shit for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's the question, right? Is how will it end up looking in practice? Will it be better? Does it break more scenarios than it fixes, or vice versa? And that's what we probably had to experiment.
I think the complexity here comes from the fact that it's not a trivial amplification of your traffic. It's 2.5 times, potentially 3 if you're doing 1080p, switching from 360p up to HT. It's not progressive, right? So, and then we are also not currently I don't know if you guys are using this. Are you currently using our sort of circuit breakers for dropping high quality layers?
Yeah, I don't think we've disabled those.
So currently these are not super aggressive. So they take a while. They take at least 5 seconds to kick in. Because we don't want to be super aggressive given that we're not ramping up again. But with that in mind, I don't know. I see what you're saying, and it's probably worth trying. I guess I'm just afraid that there's a good chance that you might end up discovering, I actually need better ramp up detection and probing.
Yeah, I mean, I think long term the solution is definitely the kind of more proper one. Honestly, we're going to see how much without any ramp up at all. I think we first want to just find out like how big of a deal that even is. Like, well, that might be fine for now anyway. That's what we kind of want to find out.
Yeah, and you're going to use that for last N as well, right? Not just for
simulcast. This is last N.
Oh, you're not even. Oh, okay. You're not even considering simulcast at all for this thing.
No, this is last N with simulcast.
But what do you want the probing for? So that you vary the N value, or so that you re-enable high quality layers?
Yeah, just for this. Oh yeah, the probing just for the simulcast stuff. Yeah, not adaptive last N, a fixed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys discover that a poor man's solution is actually cutting it in a number of scenarios, uh, then we'd certainly want to know. But here's another thing to keep in mind. For a very long time, we were running Mi Jitsi at 360p, uh, and people were happy using it. So if you just have the current circuit breakers that drop the high quality layer, they would basically put you in that situation. Now, granted, 360p in simulcast doesn't ramp up all the way up to what 360p without simulcast does. So it's not going to be that good, but it's still an acceptable video experience.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some, renderings that's on a big 65-inch TV or something. So 360p at that point, I think it's probably.
But you would only be sending 360p. So here's the situation: you would only be sending 360p up if something for 5 seconds you had shitty network quality. So what you're worried about is only the case where these 5 seconds were an exception and not an indication of a poor link.
Yeah.
And so this is what you'll be optimizing with a poor man's solution here. I mean, this is all a very interesting conversation, but indeed, if you try it and you actually get some data and you qualify the behavior.
Well,
yeah. Thanks. Maybe a quick announcement, and I think the guys already said that the previous time, but we're going to have a WebRTC meetup in Austin on Wednesday. A few developers from LogMeIn are also going to be on board, and they might make a presentation as well. So if anyone is interested in joining, we'll have pizza. Make sure you come to the Atlassian offices. Is there anything else?
Will there be a live stream of the event?
We can add one, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be pretty late for you, Karthik.
Okay.
It's going to be 7 at the evening here. So your guys in Finland are 8 hours ahead, so that would be 3 a.m. If you join a WebRTC meetup 3 a.m. from Finland, I would give you a special start for WebRTC enthusiasm.
3 a.m. is too late.
Yeah. And how are things on CallStats, Karthik? Any new exciting features?
Yeah, we are adding these new categories for the calls, like 2 more, like missed calls and dropped calls. You'll be seeing that soon. Dropped calls will be ones which has ice disruption, and missed calls are ones which you share a link with some other guy and nobody accepts your link and you get closer. I think it's not in the case of Jitsi, you will not be able to see any missed calls, but dropped calls you'll be able to see.
What is the difference between dropped calls and churn?
Churn is just like you leave and rejoin the conference. And
what is a dropped call?
The network goes away and there'll be ice disruption event fired.
And that happens for everyone?
Well, the network disruption can happen to Jitsi also, but you'll not see the missed calls in Jitsi.
No, but I mean a dropped call. What if right now you lost your network? How would that show in?
There'll be a network disruption, and you'll be able to see that in the dashboard.
Okay, and now we're going to start showing dropped calls in the call stats dashboard.
Yeah, we are showing it as a partially failed calls. Now it will be reclassified as dropped calls.
Would they continue showing as partially failed as well, or would they be a separate category?
Yeah, it will be separate as dropped calls.
And partially failed will no longer include dropped calls?
Yeah. Something on that lines, yeah.
Okay. And how about participants? We still...
You'll be able to see all the participants.
But that's a separate thing, right?
What?
So Varun said at some point that you guys already had total numbers of participants, but you were not showing them in the dashboard, like average of participants per call, for example.
I think we are showing it, right?
No.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, maybe that feature will also come soon.
What's that? Sorry.
Yeah, that will be coming soon. I'm not sure about that. I was not. I am not aware of that feature, but if Varun has told you, then it will be coming soon.
Okay. Could you guys maybe?
Mostly it's a dashboard thing. So if it is something related to library and dashboard, I will be aware of.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we do have a number of participants and average number of participants per call.
Let's see. Anything else, maybe?
Nothing.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm going to cut it here. Thanks everyone for joining, and see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay.